Hmm. Good evening, ma'am.
All right. Which cue
I
card?
would adventurous sport.
All right. Begin.
I would like to talk about an adventurous sport that I would try on my next holiday. Actually, I am excited to do scuba diving. I think I would do it on the Maldives. Actually, I have seen so many videos of scuba diving, so that create an interest on my mind. The Maldives is a famous island, which is quite famous for its emerald waters, then white sandy beaches and the palm trees. I know doing scuba diving is quite risky, so we have to be really on the top of the game. We need some apparatus that I have seen from one Discovery channel, that we need oxygen tank, special face mask, then a pair of fins and a swimsuit. But if you do scuba diving in the Maldives, there is the availability of scuba diving instructors, so it would be not that much worrying. I'm quite sure that doing scuba diving is having lots of fun and excitement. It would definitely take my breath away. I would get a chance to see the myriad of sea creatures, the coral reefs, shells, and the flora and fauna, and also the group of fishes. I am really excited to do that. Then, we have to be really careful regarding the change in water pressure. If we are careless, then it would be fatal. Then I would do this on my next vacation. Then I am quite sure that it would be such a fun and excited activity. So I am looking forward for that holiday.
All right. This is exactly 2 minutes. You've got the hang of the time now, Miguel. And it is not excited activity, it is exciting activity. Okay?
Okay, ma'am, okay.
You will be excited in that activity. It is an exciting activity. Apart from that, I don't think there was any mistake. Okay? So,
Okay.
and I'm very sure this time you'll get a very good score. And I really wish to get fair examiners in the, actual
Okay.
exam.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So next it is Raj. Yes, Raj. Which cue card?
Cue card number is 47, ma'am.
Speak out the cue card. What is it?
Describe a time when someone gave you something which you needed.
All right. Start.
I have never asked anyone for anything, but today I would like to talk about a time when someone gave me something which I badly needed. It was a laptop. During Corona pandemic, all school and colleges started to take online classes, and I was in a final year, so I had to attend all the classes. I had my laptop, so it was very easy for me to attend to all those lectures. But one day I accidentally put my hot coffee on the laptop and it stopped working. I did so many things, but it didn't work. Then I called customer care and they told me that it would take 2 months. Uh, Spending 2 months without laptop, it was very difficult for me because I had to submit all my research project and I had to done many things during those days. And during those days it was my birthday, and all my neighbors knew that I was facing challenging to attending my lectures. And one of my neighborhoods gave me newly bought laptop for using for some time. I used that laptop almost 2 months. I did all my research studies such as questionnaire, made a graph, and also all that. And after finishing my lectures, I give it back to them along with a thank note. I also invited them to at the lunch from at my house. And after this incident, our family relationship even better, And whenever I want something, without hesitation I ask them, and whenever they need any help, I'm always willing to help them. So this was the incident when someone gave me a laptop when I needed.
Very good. Raj, it was much better than your earlier times. Really, really much better. See, you focused on simple speaking and it turned out to be quite good. There were mistakes, no doubt. I'm going to play it back and tell you the mistakes, but much less than earlier times. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I have never asked anyone for anything, but
I have never asked, not ask. It is ask. ED. Okay.
I would like to talk about a time when someone gave me something which I badly needed. It was a laptop. During Corona pandemic, all school and colleges started to take online class.
See, it is all, then school and colleges doesn't look good. Na? Schools, you should add the S there. Okay. All schools and colleges.
Yes, ma'am. I was in a final, so I had to attend all the classes. I had my laptop, so it was very easy for me to attend all those lectures. But one day I accidentally put my hot copy on the laptop and it stopped working. I did so many things, but it didn't work. Then I called customer care and he told me that it would take 2 months. Spending 2 months without laptop, it was very difficult for me because I had to submit all my research project and I had to done many things during those days.
See, I had to. After two, it's always the first form. Okay. I had to do. Okay. Not done.
Yes, ma'am. During those days, it was my birthday, and
During those during those days. Okay.
okay, ma'am. Neighbors knew that I was facing challenging to attending my lectures, and one of my
All my neighbors knew that I was facing challenges, not challenging. I was finding it challenging, but facing challenges. All right.
okay, ma'am. Who's gave me newly bought laptop for using for some time. I used that laptop almost 2 months. I did all my research studies such as questionnaire, making my graphs, and also all that. And after finishing my lectures, I give it back to them along with a thank note.
I gave it back to them, not give it. I returned it, you can say. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Invited them to at the lunch from at my house, and after this incident, our family relationship even better. And whenever I want something, without hesitation I ask them, and whenever they need any help, I'm always willing to help them.
I am always, I always willingly, I am always willing to help. I am, okay. I am always willing to help them whenever they need. Very good, Raj. This should go between 6 and 6.5. Definitely, if the examiner is fair, 6.5. Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, Kirti, your turn.
my cue card number is 79. Describe a story or a novel that was particularly interesting to you.
All right, you can begin.
Okay, so I'm not very fond of reading, but I particularly remember a novel which I read, and that was the very first novel which I read, and that was the novel by a youth icon, but which is I Too Had a Love Story by Ravinder Singh. It was given by one of my friends, and when he read about it, and then he recommended it to me that I must read about it. And it was a very beautiful story, and it was actually after reading the novel and after releasing the novel, I came to know that it was author's true story. It was actually author's story. So the story was that he met a girl at the matrimonial site, and then they talked for a few days, and they fell in love with each other. And after meeting for 2 3 times, their family decided to get them married. And just after the one day before the engagement, the girl met with an accident, and uh, the boy lost his love. And he still remembers that how he overcame from that incident. Like, he was not able to overcome from that incident after for quite a long time. And then he decided to dedicate a novel to his love, and then after that he came with this novel. And I read it like about 2 to 3 years ago when my friend recommended it. Then I read, and it was during my vacations time when I was free, and then I gave it a read, and I really feel nostalgic after reading that. Even I was not able to sleep for a few days after reading the novel. It still gives me the goosebumps when I think about that story. That what a sad story it was, and that was the novel which I still remember, and I always cherish the work which Ravinder Singh is doing, and he's youth icon for today's generation, that we should, follow our dreams and we should write the
All right,
stories which
all right, all right,
everybody.
all right, all right. It's
Okay.
2 minutes. Kirti, very, very well spoken. Okay, very well spoken. A couple of mistakes here and there. I'm going to play it back with you. Okay, you can begin.
Ma'am,
Okay, ma'am.
excuse me, ma'am.
Hanji Kiran, next आपने बोलना है. Let me give her feedback. Okay, you speak what you're prepared. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Not a well. I'm not very fond of reading, but I particularly remember a novel which I read, and that was the very first novel which I read, and that was the novel by a youth icon. That is, I too had a love story by Ravinder Singh. It was given by one of my friends, and when he read about it, and then he recommended it to me that I must read about it. And it was a very beautiful story, and it was actually.
See, read about it, Kirti, means कि novel के बारे में पढ़ना है, किसी के reviews. He recommended that I should read it. Okay, not read
Okay,
about
ma'am.
it. Difference.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है.
After reading the novel and after releasing the novel, I came to know that it was author's true story. It was actually author's story. So the story was that he met a girl at the matrimonial site, and then they talked for a few days, and they fell in love with each other. And after meeting for 2-3 times, their family decided to get them married. And just after the one day before the engagement, the girl met with an accident, and the boy lost his love. And he still remembers that how he overcame from that incident. Like, he was not able to.
See, whenever you tell the story of a movie or you tell the story of a novel, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
just tell me one thing. When you are saying the story of a novel, then just one day before the wedding, the girl met with an accident or meets with an accident. Every time you read the novel, it will be the girl meets with an accident just one day before the.
Mhm.
So the
Yes, ma'am.
story of a movie and the story of a novel also should go in the present tense, simple present
Okay,
tense.
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
This is
And
one
ma'am,
use of simple present tense which I tell. Okay, but on the whole, your fluency and all is you are not going to get less than a 7. Okay,
okay,
despite
ma'am.
this
Ma'am,
mistake.
actually
Yeah.
tomorrow is my exam, ma'am. That's
So
why
you are
I.
going to do well, but I'm just telling you that this should be simple present because every time it will happen, the same thing will happen, right? You get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
He overcome from that incident.
See, after overcome, we don't use the word from. So how he overcomes that incident.
Okay, ma'am.
Then he decides to write for his love. Then, it's all in the present simple tense. And he writes.
Okay, ma'am.
For quite a long time, and then he decided to dedicate
Then he decides to, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
to his love, and then after that he came with this novel.
He comes up
And-
with this novel, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
I read it like about 2 to 3 years ago when my friend recommended it. Then I read, and it was during my vacations time when I was free, and then I gave it a read, and I really feel nostalgic after
Then I gave it a read. I read it or I gave it
Okay.
a read, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
that. Even I was not able to sleep for a few days after reading the novel. It still gives me the goosebumps when I think about that story, that what a sad story it was. And that was the novel which I still remember. And
You use the word nostalgic, right? I missed it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
then I read
Nostalgic.
this novel, and I read
What
it.
is nostalgia?
To feel emotional by remembering something.
Of your past. You're emotional when you feel, in any incident which gives happiness in your mind, but brings tears in your eyes.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes. Yes.
nostalgia. Here, this word was wrongly used.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
It's not nostalgia. I feel very sad. I feel emotional. I feel sympathetic or, for that person
Okay, ma'am.
like that. All right. Chalo,
Okay,
not
ma'am.
bad. Okay, very good. All the
Oh,
best for tomorrow. Yes, Kiran, your
thank you, ma'am.
yes, Kiran.
May I?
Yes,
Ma'am,
Kiran.
ma'am, I only just prepare cue card by myself that describe a person you know who is from different culture.
Okay, you can start. Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am. While it is not uncommon these days for people to make friends from different culture, and the credit goes to globalization and improved technology, as there are no geographical boundaries today. I have made many friends who are from different cultures, but one I would like to talk about here is Jason. Jason is an American, and I found him on a chatting platform where one day I was trying to find an English speaking person to chat and this is something I often do to improve my English ability. We become friends in no time. The fact is that Jason is equally interested to travel to India. So during this chat, he asked me that many things about India and the places to visit in India and also in America. Now we have become good friends and we frequently chat. During this time chatting with Jason, I got to learn a lot about American culture. For example, I have learned that he is only 18 and he is planning to travel to India alone because he has saved and earned money by his own for this trip, which is quite surprising for
Okay,
me
okay,
because
okay.
in
Okay,
India,
Kiran, I'm stopping you I'm stopping you in between. Okay, you've spoken for 1 minute. Can you switch on your video? Yes. Now you look at me eye to eye. Okay. And now you
yes,
speak.
sir.
Okay. Now you speak.
Ma'am, starting to सुना
No,
दूं?
no, no. Only next. What is left? Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Start.
okay. And I'm quite
Just one
surprising
second,
by
1 second, 1 second. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Um, just give me 1 minute. Now start.
and I'm quite surprising by this because he's only 18, but in India the children are mostly
Eye
dependent
to eye.
on
Eyes on me. Eyes on me.
but children are totally dependent on their parents
No,
for
no, no,
quite
no,
a
no.
long
You are
time.
looking at your notebook.
No, ma'am,
No, you are
I'm
you
looking
are
at
not.
you.
No, you're not looking at me eye to eye. I said eyes should be on me, on the
Ma'am,
camera.
है ही नहीं कुछ.
No, no, no. You look at me straight.
No,
Okay?
he's
Yes.
looking at phone, ma'am, phone.
Yeah.
Looking at
Now
phone.
speak.
Ma'am, I looking at the phone, but my one eye is प्रॉब्लम है मैम मेरी आई ਤਾਂ ਫੇਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਈਡ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਆ
कोई बात नहीं. You look straight. Oh, okay. Open your.
ਮੇਰੀ ਆਈ ਚ ਪ੍ਰॉब्लम ਹੈ ਮੈਮ ਇੱਕ ਚ
Okay, okay.
ਮੈਂ ਸਪੈਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਅੱਜ
अच्छा कोई गल नहीं. चलो बोल.
ਹਾਂਜੀ and I am quite surprising by this because the children in India are totally dependent on their parents for a quite long time, so that's why I am surprised by seeing that they are traveling alone to they are preparing for traveling alone to India, in fact that the majority of people are richest list in the Google is from
All right,
America.
Kiran. I'm giving your feedback. Okay, just I'm
Okay,
giving your
ma'am.
feedback. I have a suggestion for you. If you really have a problem in your eye, okay, then what you have to do is listen. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
When you fill in the exam, you will get a certificate from your doctor that you have a problem and you cannot, look eye to eye with the examiner, because otherwise it will not be taken in the good light and you will not, your body language and all speaks in the IELTS. Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
get
Ma'am,
that
but
certificate. Okay.
okay, ma'am.
They
Okay,
have
I'll
a
get that.
column, they have a provision for a special need or something like that. Okay, get that.
Okay,
Second thing,
okay, ma'am.
it was looking too mugged up. Okay, it was looking too mugged up that it will definitely go negative. Okay, now I'm going to play one and give you the first 1 minute feedback. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
put
Okay,
a dot
ma'am.
on your notebook every time. Put a dot on your notebook every time. There is a mistake which I tell you. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am. not uncommon these days for people to make friends from different cultures, and the credit goes to globalization and technology. So there are
देखो आप ना एक भी पॉज नहीं दे रहे हो, ना के कहीं फुल स्टॉप है ना कहीं कॉमा है. Okay,
okay, ma'am.
you get what I'm saying. Okay,
Yes,
it's looking,
yes, ma'am.
it's looking very artificial. It's
Okay,
looking
ma'am.
too crammed up to get a good bad
Okay.
score. Okay, आगे देखो.
Okay, ma'am. Not uncommon these days for people to make friends from different cultures and the credit.
From different cultures, culture नहीं, cultures. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Technology, so there are no geographical boundaries to it. I have made many friends who are from different cultures, but one I would like to talk about here is Jason. Jason is an American accounting platform. Where one day I was trying to find an English-speaking person to chat, and this is something I often do to improve my English ability. We become friends in no.
We became friends in no time, not we become. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Definitely, equally interested to travel to India. So during this chat, he asked me that many things about India.
He asked me that नहीं आना, many things about India. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Visit India and also in America. Now we have become good friends, and we frequently chat during this time chatting. With Jason, I got to learn a lot about American culture. For example, I have learned that is only.
I have learned is wrong. I have learnt. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Planning to travel to India alone because he has saved and earned money by his own.
He has earned money, not earn. Okay.
For this. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Kid. तो आपने अमेरिकन कल्चर के बारे में सीखा है, उसके बारे में तो बताया नहीं, और फिर उसका बता रहे हो कि वो इंडिया आना चाहता है. ओके. तो
Okay, ma'am.
बेटा, इट इज टू मग्ड अप. मेरे हिसाब से ये पॉजिटिव नहीं जाएगा. यू हैव टू लर्न टू स्पीक स्लोली. You have to learn to give natural pauses. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
All right.
I correct myself.
Yes,
next
you will
time.
correct.
And
I know. Okay. Now
Yes.
next, I think it is. 1 second. You know, I have students who are my paid students, and they have wanted to speak here. So I told 1 or 2 to speak in my class today, but I don't know if they are there or not. I have a very poor memory. Okay. So, Sandhu, who is Sandhu? I can see the raised hand. Kiran, you can lower your hand now. You got your turn. Okay. Yes, Sandhu, you would like to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all right.
Ma'am, my cue card is
Next is Zaida. Okay. Akhtar Mitu. Okay. Yes. Which cue card would you
ma'am,
like?
like
Yes.
describe a time when you saw a lot of class days.
ऑडियो नहीं क्लियर है बेटे, कोई फायदा नहीं होना, फीडबैक भी नहीं हो पानी. दोबारा बोलो.
Audio, ma'am,
नहीं, अभी भी नहीं क्लियर. Audio is not clear. Okay. Zaida, you can speak. Which cue card would you like to speak on?
Ma'am, I want to talk about cue card number 10. Describe someone you know who was recently moved to a new place.
Okay. Sandhu, in the meantime, you can see if your mic or you know the placement of your audio mic in front so that there's no disturbance, and then you can take your turn next. All
Okay,
right,
ma'am.
Zaida, you can start.
Okay. People move to a new place for 2 reasons. One is for job and other is for education. Today, I would like to talk about my cousin who has recently moved to a new place, which in Canada. Canada is a very popular city, and my cousin always dreamed to go there. She had a lot of difficulties to pursue her higher education in Canada, but she worked really hard to fulfill her dream. Whenever she called me, she told me how beautiful the Canada is. In fact, there is a colors of leaves which is called fall season, and she really loved that season. But in India, there is no fall season. She also told me she got a personal accommodation for higher education. But in India, she doesn't. She did not have her own room. She had to share her room with her sister. Sometimes she misses her sister so much, and the sharing rooms fun. She also told me that their education system is really good. Uh, for her, I am also inspired to go Canada. I know it is not so easy. She had to work lot hard for clear her IELTS, and also she spent her most of the time on watching English TV movies or many English books. She knew that if she wouldn't talk English fluently, it would be very difficult for her to pursue her higher education. That's why she worked hard for English. And I also work hard to pursue my higher education from inspired by her. And I also go to Canada to pursue my
All
higher
right, all
education.
right, all right. It's 2 minutes. All right, Zaida, your pronunciation has to be worked upon. Okay, it's not Kannada. I thought you are talking of Kannada in India, that state. You are talking of Canada, right? Say
Yes,
Canada.
ma'am.
Say Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, it's Canada, not Kannada. Okay, I'm going to play
Yes.
it back. Yeah.
Okay. People move to a new place for two reasons. One is for a job and other is
For two reasons. Okay.
for education. Today, I would like to talk about my cousin who has recently moved to a new place, which in Canada.
Which is Canada. Okay. Canada.
Canada.
Is a very popular city, and my cousin always dreamed to go there.
Now she has already gone there, na? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So she always dreamt to go there. Now she's there. Okay. Canada is a beautiful city. It's not a city. It's a country in itself. Okay. So, and my
Okay.
cousin always dreamt to go there. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
She had a lot of difficulties to pursue her higher education in Canada, but
Canada.
she worked really hard to fulfill her dream. Whenever she told me how beautiful the Canada is. In fact, there is a colors of leaves which is called fall
I think
season.
instead of saying Canada, you can say Toronto. Okay. She always wanted
Yes,
to go
ma'am.
to Toronto. That's a
Toronto.
city also. So that will be city. And the pronunciation will not go wrong. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And she really loved that season. But in India, there is no fall season. She also told me
There is no which season in India?
Fall. Fall, maybe.
No, there is fall in India also. Okay. But you know, that is autumn. Autumn is fall. We also have autumn. And if you look around, you will find colorful trees here. But there are not so many trees now so that we can see the colors like we see in the US or Canada. Okay. Fall is
Okay,
there
ma'am.
in India also. Yes.
got
And you know, it's not a season. It's not a season. I am not, don't say that. It is fall in the colors of fall. Beautiful. Okay. We can say fall.
Okay.
And fall season is not looking good now when you say, okay, autumn. That is, we also call it the fall.
Recommendation for higher education, but in India she did not have her own room. She had to share her room with her sister. Sometimes she misses her sister so much, and the sharing room fun. And she also told me that their education system is really good. For her, I am also inspired to go Canada. I know it is not so easy. She had to work a lot hard for clear her IELTS. And also
For is a preposition. So all of you, after preposition, it's always the in form for clearing her IELTS. Okay, for clearing, not clear.
Okay, ma'am.
most of the time on watching English
Spend her most of the time is wrong. You know, spend most of her time. Okay.
Okay,
movies or many English books. She knew that if she wouldn't talk English fluently, it would be very difficult.
It is not talk English, it's speak English fluently. Okay. If she wouldn't speak English fluently.
okay, ma'am.
Okay.
To pursue her higher education. That's why she worked hard for.
That is why she worked hard. So this is 2 minutes feedback I've given. I didn't stop you early, but you spoke quite well. But your pronunciation has a serious flaw in it, and that would not get this cue card a very good score, because 25% band are dedicated to pronunciation. Okay, and I honestly thought it was saying Kannada. Kannada is wrong. Okay, that in 3-4 places, but otherwise you spoke well.
Ma'am,
What is good? Yes. Yes, Jaspreet, you want to speak?
ma'am, can you give me the score? Ma'am,
Yes. I didn't get it. What do you want me to do?
ma'am, can you give me score, please? My
Score.
exam is in
When is your exam?
6 July.
6 July. You have time. You can get a 6.5 to 7. But today it will not be more than 6. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Because of the
Okay.
pronunciation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
Jaspreet, you want to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Which cue card?
My topic is describe a speech you gave.
Okay. Let's have it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I had not delivered many speeches in my life. Once in a blue moon, when I gave speech in my school or college life. Here I'm going to talk about a speech which I gave in my school life, and it was a good experience in my life. I vividly remember when I was studying in 10th standard. That time, my school organized competition, speech competition for the students. So that time, my class teacher was selected me from the 10th standard, as well as she also choose another 5 student from the another classes. And that time first I denied to take participate in the speech confidence competition, because I felt nervous that time, but my teacher motivated me a lot, as well as she provided me one topic which is related to the environmental pollution. So I prepared my topic within 2 days. On the competition day, I delivered my speech.
Jaspreet. I'm stopping
Yes,
you. I want to give you a detailed feedback of all the mistakes you're making. When is your exam? First, tell me that.
ma'am, 6th July.
6th of
July.
Okay, you have time. Okay, I'm going to give you feedback because the mistakes you're making have to be worked upon. Okay,
Yes,
so that is I stopped to midway, because see, if you learn 2 or 3 mistakes in one time and don't repeat them, that will be improvement. Okay, just listen.
Okay.
Yes, well, I had not delivered many speeches.
I had not is wrong. I haven't. How will you say that? I haven't. It's have not hadn't. Okay, I
Okay.
haven't.
My life, once in a blue moon, when I.
अब once in a blue moon बोलने के लिए आपने सारी गड़बड़ करी. Okay, please don't work on vocabulary or idioms. Okay,
Yes.
I'll give you other feedback also, which is very, very needed for you, and you'll really benefit. Okay, it will be good, and many other students are making similar mistakes, so it will be beneficial for all if they listen properly. Okay.
Speech in my school or college life. Here I'm going to talk about a speech which I gave in my school life.
Which I gave. Okay.
Yes.
It was a good experience.
It was a very good. It was a good experience. Okay.
life. I vividly remember when I was studying in 10th standard. That time, my school organized a competition. Speech.
See, my school organized a competition when you are dragging the words. Now, what you have to do is every day record yourself for half a minute, listen back and see whether you are dragging words or not. This dragging should not come. Okay? I'll tell you once again what I'm saying.
That time, my school organized.
See, that time my school organized. See, that dragging. Timer organized. This shouldn't come. Time organized. Okay? This is how you have to say.
Competition, speech competition for the students. At that time, my class teacher was selected me from.
That time my class teacher was selected. Was selected means teacher को किसी ने select करा कि teacher ने आपको select करा.
Teacher selected me.
हाँ, was selected wrong है. पता चल गया? ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
Standard as well as she.
Standard that ये आप dragging तो बिल्कुल बंद करनी पड़ेगी, नहीं तो अच्छा band score नहीं आएगा बिल्कुल. ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am.
So choose another 5.
Chose, not choose. Past tense है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Selected me from the 10th standard, as well as she also choose another.
She selected me as well as. अब ये as well as का मेरा shortcut tip है क्योंकि मुझे honestly, sincerely इसको समझाना नहीं आता है, but most of the students use it wrong. So my shortcut tip is don't use it in speaking as well as in writing. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
So this is, it goes wrong. So इसको निकाल दो. Okay?
Okay.
5 student from the another classes.
5 student होगा कि students होगा?
Students.
हाँ, वो आपने student बोला है. Another, आपको पता है an का क्या मतलब है?
An article.
हाँ, an article क्या मतलब है? Article है. An का क्या मतलब है? I ate an orange. इसका क्या मतलब है? An या a का क्या मतलब होता है? A
Can I,
boy.
ma'am? Yeah.
An means one, right? ठीक है?
Yes.
An का मतलब है one. अब आप सुनो आपने क्या बोला है?
So choose another 5 student from.
Chose another 5 student. Another 5 हो सकते हैं?
No.
Another के other, chose 5 more students
Others.
from other classes. Okay, not another. Okay.
Yes.
Another classes.
आपने यहाँ पे भी another बोला है, another classes. एक और बहुत सारी classes, बहुत wrong जा रहा है, समझ गए? Another
Yes.
means one. Okay.
That time first I denied to take participate.
Deny का क्या मतलब होता है? Deny का मतलब होता है, मैं बोल रही हूँ आपने मेरी बुक चुराई है, आप कहते हो नहीं चुराई, so you are denying it. Okay? अब यहाँ पे
Yes.
आप deny कर रहे हो, wrong है ना word?
Okay,
At
ma'am.
first I was reluctant to take part.
Okay.
Okay, but then I agreed.
In the speech
Yes.
competition, because I felt nervous that time, but my teacher motivated me a lot, as well as she provided me one topic which is.
She motivated me as well as she did something else to me. तो as well as सही नहीं, तो यहाँ पे भी as well as गलत गया आपका. So what is my
Okay.
shortcut tip? Don't use it. Forget
Yes.
this as well as phrase. Okay.
To
Yes.
the environmental pollution. So I prepared my topic within 2 days.
See, prepared my topic within 2 days. ये dragging, do away with it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That competition day,
Just breathe. That is why I stopped you, बेटा, क्योंकि बहुत लंबी feedback थी and 2 minute की और भी लंबी हो जानी सी. I think you've learned enough in 1 minute. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Work on these mistakes and you'll be good, right? Chalo.
Okay.
Yeah, who is next? I think Palak, would you like to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Which cue card?
Describe a thing that you don't learn in school.
Describe a thing that you
Didn't learn in school.
didn't learn in school. All right, start.
Well, as we know that school and colleges play a very important role in students' life, and that how students learn their moral values from schools. So, unfortunately, they lag behind in teaching the students, such as the money management skill. But I have somehow learned this skill from one of their book, The Rich Dad and Poor Dad. The book was recommended by one of my friend, and I read this book in a 2 years ago. So I have learned a lot of things from this book, and I would say that the author described each and everything in a very simple manner that every person can easily grasp the knowledge. So I thought it is very important for a person to learn this skill because when I was in a high school, I faced a lot of problem as I was a monitor of the class. So the teacher gave me the responsibility to collect some of the money for the competition, but somehow I did a mistake. So on that period of time, I realized that how important it is. So my friend helped me 2 years ago, and it was such a thankful moment for me. Apart from this, I also used this skill in one of my event when me and my friend decided to go to Shimla. We were short of 1,000 rupees, and somehow I able to manage because of my this skills, and the people praised me. And on that period of time, I feel appreciated and felt proud of me. So that's why this is the only thing that school lag behind, giving the students.
All right. All right, Palak, I'm going to give you the feedback. Okay, I'm very happy that you did not use difficult and tough vocabulary. You have to work a lot on your grammar. Okay, so
Well, as we know that school and colleges play a very important
school and colleges नहीं, schools and colleges. दोनों में s डालो ना. When you generalize plural, colleges plural है, school को भी plural करो, ठीक है?
Okay.
in students' life, and that's how students learn their moral values from
Students learn, okay, not student.
schools. So, unfortunately, they lag behind in teaching the students, such as the money management skill. But I have somehow learned this skill from
I have somehow learnt this skill. You use the word have. After have, it will be third form, right?
their book, The Rich Dad and Poor Dad. The book was recommended by one of my friend, and I
One of my के बाद पलक हमेशा plural होता है. One of my
Friends.
friends. Good.
read this book in a 2 years ago. So I have learned a lot of things from this book, and I would say that the author described each and everything in a very
Author described आएगा कि describes आएगा?
Describes.
आपने describe बोला, ठीक है? Describes. अभी
Okay.
मैंने एक स्टूडेंट को फीडबैक दिया था ना कि स्टोरी नॉवल की हो या बुक की हो, that has to go in which tense? Present simple. Okay.
Yes.
simple manner that every person can easily grasp the knowledge. So I thought it is very important for a person to learn this skill because
Don't you still think that? You said I thought. अब नहीं सोचते हो ऐसा?
Yes,
अब
ma'am.
सोचते हो ना? So I think. ठीक है? वैसे तो think से better word I believe. Okay? That money management should be part of the school curriculum. Okay?
I was in a high school. I faced a lot of problem. As I was
A lot of problem होगा कि problems होगा?
Problems.
Yes.
monitor of the class. So the teacher gave me the responsibility to
Teacher give me or gave me?
Gave me.
collect some of the money for the competition, but somehow I did a mistake. So on that period of time, I realized that how important it is. So my friend helped me 2 years ago, and it was such a thankful moment for me. Apart from this, I also used this skill in one of my event when me and my friend
One of my events. One of my के बाद plural. Okay. When me and my friend, ये गलती बड़ी common है. It is not me and my friend. It is my friend and I. Okay. My friend and I.
to go to Shimla. We were short of 1,000 rupees, and somehow I able to manage because of my
Somehow I was able to manage. Okay.
skills, and the people praised me. And on that period of time, I feel appreciated and felt proud of me.
Felt proud of myself. Okay. So,
Yes.
Palak, you see, you did not use big words. You did not use what you have to work on is your grammar. Very simple English, correct grammar. Okay, will take you 7 plus. And I'm planning these grammar classes. Crash course in grammar classes. Crash course. I've picked up 30 common mistakes of grammar which students of IELTS make. And I'll be taking them on, and I actually have to see how long it will take me to teach all those 30 points. I think the class should go about 2.5 hours. I'll break it up, but especially for my students here, I've planned this class. Let's see when I can conduct that. All right. So good on the whole, but you need to work hard on your grammar.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, yeah. Next, who is there? Firdaus, you wanted to speak. Have you spoken already? I'm very poor at
No, ma'am.
You want to speak?
I will speak, but I'm not prepared. Like,
If you wish to speak, you can. Kaushik, would you like to speak? You can prepare in the meantime. Kaushik, would you like to speak? Khushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Kaushik, your turn. Yeah. Which cue card?
Ma'am, unfortunately, I skipped the PDF. 1 second, please.
Khushi, would you like to speak?
Yes.
All right. Which cue card?
Describe a daily routine that you enjoy.
All right. You can start.
I have many routines in my daily life, like waking up early, doing household chores, reading a book, and walking. These are some of the routines that I do regularly. But here I would like to talk about one particular routine that I enjoy the most. That is walking. I and my grandmother go to walk daily after having our dinner. We walk 3 to 4 kilometers near our house. My grandmother is in her 70s. She has blood pressure, so her doctor suggested her to walk daily, as this is very good for her health. So I also join her in her routine. So, and walking has so many benefits, like it helps the food to digest properly, and and it activates our body, and this is the main exercise that we can do apart from yoga and other exercise. So, and apart from this all, why I enjoy walking is because I walk with my grandmother. I and my grandmother daily talk to each other about our days, and what we did all the days, what we did all the days. Sometimes she even share her early age stories with me, which are really very emotional, and how she shares her struggle life with me. So, and I also bear my heart to her.
All right. Good. Okay. There is one thing I would like to tell you. Let me see if that book is with me, or I've taken it to Jalandhar. Just give me 1 minute. Can you read the name of the book?
My grammar and
One
or
second.
should I tell?
1 second. 1 second. Where is it?
My grammar and I should that be me.
My grammar and I, or should that be me? Yeah, I don't know the change. My grammar and I, or should that be me? Pada ja raha hai?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes,
See, it
ma'am,
is
yes.
my grandmother and I, my friend and I, me and my friend nahi. Okay, this book was gifted to me by my very good friend, from the US. She gifted this book to me, and I, really every time I go through the pages of this book, I learn something. It's a wonderful small grammar book. Okay. And the title of the book is based on this mistake most people do, me and my friend and I, my grandmother and I. Okay. That is correct English. And see, English is a polite language. Apna zikr baad mein karte hain, that way. All right. Now, Khushi, I'm going to give you your feedback. एक तो ये गलती आपको समझ आ गई, पहले भी किसी ने करी थी आज की क्लास में ही. So I think this is a good lesson for all of you to take home today. There are 4 members in my family: my father, my mother, my brother, and I. Me and my brother. ठीक है? So like that you say I and me.
I have many routines in my daily life, like waking up early, doing household chores.
It is not chores, it is household chores. Chores, Khushi. Okay.
Reading a book and
Reading a book का क्या मतलब है? एक ही किताब बार बार पढ़ती हूँ. Reading books daily activity उसमें reading books आएगा.
And walking. These are some of the routines that I do regularly. But here I would like to talk about one particular routine that I enjoy the most. That is walking. I and my grandmother go to walk.
It is not go to walk, go for a walk. My grandmother and I go for a walk. All right, Khushi? ये आपने बाद में फिर repeat करा है. I and my grandmother. Okay, and then we chat with each other. As time is running short, I think this is enough feedback. आप इन चीजों पे focus करो. Pronunciation chores की, chores नहीं है, chores है. And my grandmother and I. So I'll give a turn to the next student, Kaushik.
Yes, ma'am, I'm prepared.
All right.
Number 14, describe an occasion when you spend time with a young child.
Okay, you can start.
I find every opportunity to be around with children because I find them adorable and I'm in love with them. In couple of years ago, one of my cousins got married, and she invited me and couple of other of my friends, and we all went to attend the marriage ceremony. And one of my friend has a kid who wanted to attend this marriage ceremony also, but he got a viral fever and he couldn't make it. But his child, who was 4 years old at that time, his name is Jack, but she wanted her child to attend that very first marriage ceremony of his life. So he asked me to take his son to the marriage ceremony, and I took this beautiful opportunity to bring this 4-year-old kid with me. Although he was too little to be alone without her mother, he didn't make any issue uh, going with me. I took him on the marriage ceremony, and we were alone the whole marriage ceremony, and we did some couple of mini activities. I sang song for him, and I also I also
All right. All right. Kaushik, you spoke well. I am going to give the feedback because time is running short and I have to take one more speaking. Firdaus. Firdaus, are you ready? After his feedback, you can speak. All right.
I find every opportunity to be around with children because I find them adorable and I'm in love with them. In couple of years ago,
in couple
one
of years
my
ago is wrong.
cousins got married.
See,
And
you said,
she
you said in couple of years ago. That is wrong. A couple of years ago. A couple of years ago. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
invited me and couple of other of my friends, and we all went to attend the marriage ceremony. And one of my friend has a kid.
One of my is always followed by plural. One of
One
my
of my
friends.
friends. who wanted to attend this marriage ceremony also, but he got a viral fever and he couldn't make it. But his child, who was 4 years old at that time, his name is Jack, but she wanted her child to attend that very first marriage ceremony of his life. So he asked me to take his son to the marriage ceremony, and I took this beautiful opportunity to bring this 4-year-old kid with me. Although he was too little to be alone without her mother, he didn't make any issue uh, going with me. I took him on the marriage ceremony, and
I took him to the wedding ceremony. Okay.
we were alone the whole marriage ceremony, and we did some couple of mini activities. I sang song for him, and I also
See, you know what? You haven't been able to, almost 2 minutes are almost over, and you haven't been able to describe anything you did with that child. Okay. So there's no need of such a lengthy introduction. You can just bring this whole thing in 3-4 sentences and tell what all you did with the child and how you were impressed with today's children, how smart they are. And you can also say that I almost lost, you can say he ran here and there, and I was all the time on my toes running after him, and it was very difficult. And then I realized that it's not an easy job to raise children in today's time. Like
ma'am,
that can go on
you
and
said
on.
in one video that I've seen that cover all bullet points in first 40 seconds. So
Yes, you
I
didn't
find
cover.
it difficult.
You didn't cover it all.
Yes, ma'am. I find it difficult to
Not difficult.
practice this.
Take them as short answer questions. Give 1-2 sentences for each. Cover that.
I'm
Then
really trying,
you'll
ma'am.
be able to justify your cue card to get a better score. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, Firdaus, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I'll try.
Yes, just give
Okay,
me.
yep.
Yes, begin.
This is about describe a book that you have read many times. So today I am going to talk about a book which I have read quite many times. Frankly speaking, I am not a reading person. It's not my cup of tea. But once my teacher told me that you should, if you want to improve your vocabulary, you should start reading. So I started reading, but whenever I took the book, like it puts me off. Like I didn't enjoy reading. But then I decided that I have to read, and that too regularly. So there was a book called Here, There, and Everywhere by Sudha Murthy. So that was given by one of my friends, and she gifted me during a Christmas celebration at in our society. So when I took that book, I read few pages and I started enjoying that, because the language was very simple, and it consists of her experiences of life which she had, but written so beautifully and in so much detail that when I read the book, I enjoyed it. And there was nothing like that I have to read so many pages for a, like, there was few short incidences, a page or two. So like I could read that much, and gradually, like, I started liking it. And whenever I was reading the book, my younger son used to peep inside, what are you doing? So then I started reading aloud, so he also started enjoying the book. So it is kept just next to my bed, so whenever I feel like I should read, so I thank you, ma'am.
Very good, Firdaus. But wherever you use the reported speech, it went wrong. Totally wrong. So the carry home message for you: avoid the reported speech or learn it well. I'm going to give you the feedback to tell exactly what I mean by that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Describe a book that you have read many times. So today I am going to talk about a book which I have read quite many times. Frankly speaking, I'm not a reading person. It's not my cup of tea. But once my teacher told me that you should, if you want to improve your vocabulary, you should start reading.
So once my teacher told me that if I wanted to improve my vocabulary, I should start reading. That is the reported speech. So you are telling what your teacher told you exactly like that. If you want to improve your vocabulary, you must start reading. That is it. Okay. That is what the
Okay.
teacher said at that time. Now you
Okay.
are, now you have to use the indirect voice. So my teacher told me that if I wanted to improve my English, I should start reading. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I started reading, but whenever I took the book, like,
see, you are giving very good intonations, very nicely. Okay. Very natural and good English you are speaking, but reported speech has, come wrong at two places, once in the end also.
Okay, ma'am.
like I didn't enjoy reading, but then I decided that I have to read, and that too regularly. So then there was a book called Here, There, and Everywhere by Sudha Murty. So that was given by some one of my friends, and she gifted me during a Christmas celebration at in our society. So when I took that book, I read few pages and I started enjoying that, because the language was very simple, and it consists of her
it consisted of, okay,
experiences
it
of
consists of present simple
life which she had, but written so beautifully and in so much detail that when I read the book, I enjoyed it, and there was nothing like that. I have to read so many pages, or like there was few short incidences, a page or two. So like I could read that much, and gradually like I started liking it. And whenever I was reading the book, my younger son used to peep inside, what are you doing? So then I started reading.
My younger son used to peep inside and ask me what I was doing. What are you doing me? Okay.
Yeah, God, I will work on it, ma'am. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that is it. And that was the class for today. I think quite a few things have been passed on to you all. Ek to my grandmother and I, my friend and I, my sister and I, my brother and I. Okay. I will come at the end. Then the reported speech also here. Then one of my ke baad always plural. Okay. And when you generalize, things are plural. So all this you've learned. All these things, if you don't do such mistakes, common grammatical errors, then definitely the speaking band score is high. And some pronunciation errors also you've learned today. Okay. So, and some dragging also. Dragging of words, very common with the Punjabi students at least. Okay. So don't drag words. That gives a, I would say desi touch to the English, which goes wrong. Don't use accents, but speak, don't like drag the words like that. Don't drag words. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you just tell me where do I stand now? Like how much band? How many bands? Sorry.
Because I am not 1% doubtful of a 7, even the way you've spoken today. Had this mistake not come up of the reported speech, could have gone 7.5 also. You speak naturally with good intonations. There's nothing like mugged up feeling or any such feeling. So you've got a good spoken thing in the English, and I think you should do well. Don't try to put in the reported speech. That spoils the show for many good students. I've seen it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Last time I got 6.5, so this time I want to get 7.5.
Definitely. All right.
Ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
can I get my score?
खुशी
My exam is on Monday.
खुशी मेरे को तो याद भी नहीं है अभी. मैंने आपको पूरा 2 मिनट बोला कि बीच में स्टॉप कर दिया था?
नहीं, बोला था मैंने.
आपने बोला था, and that's a student. खुशी, आई थिंक वो फीडबैक दोबारा रिकॉर्डेड है आपकी इस रिकॉर्डिंग में. आई विल पुट इट अप एंड यू कैन सी. पर अच्छा बोला आज सबने. मैंने क्या फीडबैक दिया था आपको मेन बताओ.
ये ग्रैंड मदर और आई का
और
हाउसहोल्ड कोर्स में चोर्स का.
प्रोनाउंसिएशन एरर्स हुई है ना, ग्रामेटिकल एरर, बट फिर भी 6 बैंड का तो था. ठीक है, नॉट लेस देन 6. हाउ मेनी बैंड्स डू यू नीड? आर यू एन एकेडमिक स्टूडेंट और अ जीटी स्टूडेंट?
एकेडमिक स्टूडेंट.
एकेडमिक 6 से कम नहीं जाएंगे, डोंट वरी. और अच्छा करोगे ना इंट्रो सेट्स एंड फॉलो अप्स को, तो और अच्छा हो जाएगा. ठीक है. एंड डोंट ट्राई टू पुट इन वर्ड्स लाइक दैट ना. सिंपल बोलो, बिल्कुल सिंपल इंग्लिश बोलना. प्रोनाउंसिएशन एरर भी नहीं आएंगे. ठीक है. ऑलराइट, बाय.
मैम
जी, यस आर्यन.
जैसे मैम क्यू कार्ड होते हैं, मतलब अपने याद करने होते हैं, क्रैमिंग तो नहीं करनी होती?
मैं बिल्कुल क्रैमिंग की फेवर में नहीं हूँ. जो मैंने बुक भी लिखी है, मैं सब बच्चों को बोलती हूँ, टेक दीज एज आइडियाज सो दैट यू नो आप ऐसा कुछ बोल सकते हो. आपको वो बिल्कुल रट के नहीं बोलना है. दैट लुक्स वेरी आर्टिफिशियल. ओके, take them as ideas. Put your own originality in the cue card. Speak your own thing, but take ideas from there. You know, that is also needed. And pre, I don't know who pre is, but pre next time, beta. ठीक है. Now already it's late. All right.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम.